Pair of selections made thus far on day 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft by Chris Grier and company. We'll break down both picks, and we'll start with this one. Jaylen Wright, the running back out of Tennessee. A little bit of a stunner, if you're asking me, as the Dolphins actually traded up to grab the running back from Tennessee. Many people believed he was going to go on day 2 of the draft. People had him as the number 1, number 2 running back. It was really a pick your poison type situation. But the Dolphins evidently take a luxury player here in round 4, and they traded up to do so, which is the part that is the most interesting to me. And I'm not going to knock the pick. A lot of people are going to say the Dolphins gave up too much in this deal. They gave up a 2025 third-round pick. I am not going to come up here and say that it was too much. Why? Because this was viewed, and I'll say this as the 2024 NFL Draft, as a 4-round draft. It really was. A lot of experts and insiders believed after the 4th round concluded, the drop-off in talent really fell off. So teams were going to be moving up into this 4th round to draft guys that they had on their board. And the Dolphins evidently felt like Wright was a steal, which he is, and they traded a third next year, which doesn't make me upset either, because the Dolphins are going to have, or were going to have, 3 third-round picks next year. Their own third-round pick, and then 2 comp picks, because they lost in Christian Wilkins in free agency, lost Robert Hunt in free agency, both $100 million plus deals, so they were going to get third-round picks for each of those losses. So they already had a luxury of having multiple third-round picks, which was 3. Now it's down to 2, and they move up to get Jaylen Wright. But I think it's time to talk about his fit with Miami, because I know not a lot of people expected it, and I didn't expect it either. But this is someone who is going to provide another boost to this offense. As you see on screen right now, he's very young, 21, not a lot of tread on his tires, which is something that makes me happy when breaking down a running back coming out of college. He was the 2nd-ranked running back, according to our expert here at Drafts or Chat Sports, Tom Downey, in running back terms, and the 53rd overall prospect. So getting a very favorable grade here, which, if you don't remember, we took him at pick 120, as you see on the bottom of your screen. So if we take this at face value, that's a 70-pick fall and slip for Jaylen Wright, the running back out of Tennessee, and he is just an absolute burner. He possesses freaky speed, and he is going to be someone that can provide more burst and shot plays for Miami. As you see, explosive, fast, dynamic runner who can take the distance at any time. He's also a good pass-catching running back, which I think Miami really values here. They can maybe play him in the slot in different formations, get him out on the outside. 2 career drops, and the part that is also intriguing to me is that he is a good pass blocker as well. He was a plus blocker at Tennessee. I expect him to be on the field quite a bit in passing situations, and this is now maybe the fastest running back room in history when it comes to the NFL. I'm not kidding you. He is so damn quick. Ran a 4.38 at the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. He joins Raheem Mostert. He joins Devon Achane as well in this running back room. And you are just going to have plenty of speed in the backfield for this Dolphins led by Tua, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle, excuse me. I want you guys to grade the pick for me. Round 4, 120. You can include the trade. If you're upset that Miami traded up for him, I get it. But I think it's a good move because you get more depth. You dealt with a lot of injuries at the running back position a year ago with Mostert and Achane, and now you get another guy with speed and someone who can give you some insurance, but also play on all 3 downs in the passing game. Big fan of this pick. I'd probably early grade give it a B-, just because you didn't really need the position. But for the player and the value, I think it's a good pick. More on Jaylen Wright, and I have a note here that I want to share with everyone in terms of his speed and the speed of this Dolphins running attack. Like I said, ran a 4.38 40-yard dash at the Combine. Devon Achane clocked in with a 4.32 40-yard dash just a year ago. And then when Raheem Mostert ran the 40-yard dash in 2015, obviously not as quick as he was back when he was a prospect coming out, He ran a 4.34. So you have 3 running backs that are running sub 4.4s. That is flat out ridiculous, folks. Wright's going to be very dynamic playmaker for this Dolphins offense. I get it. Some people wanted to go in a different route, whether it be wide receiver, offensive guard, but he is going to be a very fun player that I'm telling you Dolphins fans are going to fall in love with when we watch him in August and September for this team. Another pick to break down in Mo Kamara coming up in just a second, but we are sponsored by Game Time, the number one ticket app, because they just have the best deals possible for you. And they're giving you $20 off when you download the app and create an account and use code CHATSPORTS. There's nothing more frustrating than spending time searching for the best ticket prices, which is why you should give Game Time a shot. They have flash deals and zone deals, which puts butts in seats, and the lowest price guaranteed. So if you're trying to catch a game, concert, or any sporting event in your local area, download Game Time today and use Chat Sports as the code for $20 off your first purchase. It's the best place to find last-minute seats. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code Chat Sports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and use code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase. I appreciate Game Time for sponsoring today's show and Dolphins today's live stream as well. They're the best ticketing app on the market for a reason. All right, next pick coming in for the Dolphins came at 158. Mohamed Kamara, whose picture is not populating right now for some reason. I apologize to that for Mo. We do have it. The edge out of Colorado State. And I do understand that some people might be upset with this pick. I am not one of them. I get it. There was a lot of needs. And I tweeted out, which you haven't already, followed me on Twitter, at Nick_Roloff, that the Dolphins should draft Christian Mahogany, the offensive guard from Boston College, because I believe he could be a day one starter, and getting him in late round 5, early round 6 could be absolutely generational. But Kamara should have been a pick way higher. I think Kamara is more of around that 100 range. I believe here at Chat Sports, we actually had him ranked as a top 100 guy. We're going to double check that here in a second. But this is a value pick and a best player available pick, which to me you could never complain with a best value pick. So we had him ranked as the 13th edge, 132 overall. So same type of thing that you just saw with Jalen Wright in terms of you're getting someone who we ranked a lot higher, and we're getting value here at 158. Kamara is a terrific player. He absolutely dominated Colorado in the Colorado State game earlier this college season, and he flashed in 2023. He had 13 sacks for the Colorado State Rams in 2023. He's a very productive player, and bringing him in as your 4th or 5th edge rusher here makes me pretty happy, man. He's a high motor, speed to power conversion is good. He's a little bit undersized, but he makes it work, man. He really does. And considering that you drafted Chop Robinson earlier in this draft, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, if I'm going to be honest. I graded it as a C+. But I do have to say, bringing in both Robinson and Kamara into a room that already featured Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Shaq Barrett makes me very excited about this Dolphins pass rush. I think this could arguably be the best edge room in the entire NFL league. Like that's how I feel right now when breaking it down. Like Phillips coming off an Achilles injury, Chubb coming off an injury as well. Sure, you're skeptical, and Shaq Barrett's up there in age as well, but on a short-term deal, mixed in with these 2 young guys, those 3 veterans that you already have in the building are only going to be able to teach the tips and the small trades that these guys need. And you combine Kamara, who's a BPA pick, and the pick of Chop Robinson as well. It's just a good pick, man. You see Mohamed Kamara's stats in 2023. Productive as hell, dude. 56 tackles, 13 sacks, pass breakup, forced fumble, or 2 forced fumbles. Just a big fan of this pick. And a lot of people thought he was going to go in round 4. He ends up going in round 5 to Miami at 138. We'll have more on this pick later in our grades video. I'll tell you what, though, I think this is an early B-plus grade from me. That could get upgraded to an A-minus, if I'm going to be honest. That's how I feel. I feel very confident about the pick from Chris Grier. I know a lot of people wanted offensive guard, but hey, maybe that gets addressed in free agency or at the final 3 picks in the draft for Miami. And if you haven't already, make sure you join the channel and hit that subscribe button, because we're going to have you covered on full draft grades later today, as well as the picks Miami made in the 6th round as well. So hit that sub button. I'm Nick Roloff. I'll have you covered. And then tomorrow on Sunday, we'll have a full list of who the Dolphins signed in undrafted free agency. So get started with us today, and we'll see you later with more Dolphins videos.